Back on track again with the regular weekly review. What's up for today? A new soap from Abbate Y La Mantia. Hello again, Michael Friedrich here from beautiful North Carolina, and we are back again with the normal, more routine weekly shave reviews. Today I have two products for review, both from Abbate Y La Mantia. This is the Monet soap. This is a new soap base. I'll talk a bit more in detail about that as we get through and start doing the lathering and the actual shave. This is a soap that is now manufactured entirely by Abbate Y La Mantia, and there's a bit of a story behind that. This is the water lily scent. It's named Monet because Claude Monet obviously had a fascination with water lilies, painted them hundreds of times. The soap is a lovely dark brown color. It looks deceptive in the tint. It is actually very soft and tacky. You could potentially just press your brush tips into there with a stiffer brush. I have, of course, put some into the loading bowl, which I'll show you in just a moment. The scent for me is a lightly sweet, distinctly floral scent with a kind of touch of powder in there, a bit of a soft scent. It is definitely a floral scent. It is not a kind of a traditional cologne style scent. Yeah, lightly sweet and definitely floral. Very, very nice scent. All right, let's put that away for the moment. There is the remainder from this week's scoop in the loading bowl. Very, very soft soap. So if you are in fact used to really like loading vigorously on a harder soap, that's going to go poorly. This is a soft soap. You need to be gentle when you're loading your brush. The brush for today is going to be this DS Cosmetic 26mm 2-band Badger, big dense brush. The razor for today is going to be a continuation of the last one I used, which is the Maggard V3 head on the iKon bulldog handle, which I'll show you in just a moment. But I'm sorry to say that in fact it has come to an end for the Persona 74 blade. 53 shaves on that, and the last two, yeah, they were shaves, but there was so little hair coming off, it has completely lost its edge, and it just really beginning to skip and stutter, not pleasant to shave with, and it's really kind of done. So 53, not bad, not 100, but halfway there, so making some progress. For today, the blade is going to be this Supermax Super Platinum. I kind of picked it random from a set of loose blades. I'm going to only use that 2 times. I'm going to tear through a bunch of loose blades that I have, and then we'll come back to some other ones. I have some ones waiting in the wings I haven't used in a long time, or I've never tried, so looking forward to that. There's the head assembled. Sorry for the brief glance, and there is the iKon handle. A nice simple razor. Let me go ahead and just wet my face again. We'll start the lather going. We'll talk a bit about the soap, what's happening at Abbate Y La Mantia. So, for those of you who remember, their original soaps were all produced in collaboration with or made for them by Chongfeng Sing in Italy, also known as TFS. All right, I'm going to start loading, and gently with a slightly wet brush, try to pick up as much of that soap as I can. Yeah, so their soaps have been previously made for them by Chongfeng Sing. Abbate Y La Mantia has now decided to go their own way. They're going to be producing all their own products themselves. The Monet is the first instance of this new independent soap making manufacturer, direction I should say. It is also a different soap base, so there are some changes in here. This is still a vegan recipe, and the soap I think is only 5 or 6 ingredients with coconut oil, castor seed oil, sunflower seed oil, and then the extract of the saffron, but also extract of rosehip is included. So a very interesting take on a light vegetable soap. And in fact, I'll show you when we start making the lather where this falls on the overall spectrum of soaps, because you have such a wide range of soaps available to you today. It's definitely a good idea to talk about sort of where these fall. I'm going to load a little more. The scent is strong, but not very strong off the puck, but it definitely opens up when you begin to lather it. All right, that looks like plenty of soap. Yeah, so they've just decided that it's time to sort of take control of their product. make it themselves. I definitely applaud them for that. I think working with TFS to begin with was a very smart move. Those guys are very skilled soap makers with quite a bit of history. I think they started right after World War II. Obviously make their own soaps and soaps for others. That's going to need a bit more water. But that already has a very nice, slick, creamy feel to it. The one problem with this brush, and by problem I mean slight problem, is that because it is dense and big, it tends to hold on to a lot of lather. But you can see what's happening already. Nice creamy lather, being easy to make. All right, just a touch more water. Yeah, see, the problem with the brush is that it tends to pick up lather off your face as opposed to leaving it on. And that's true for a lot of Badger brushes. That's just something you have to deal with. But that has made a very, very nice, easy, quick lather. Yeah, so in terms of just the, just put the soap out of the way. Just the structure of the lather. I don't mean structure as in high or mid or low. Just the way that it feels. This is a vegetable soap, a vegan soap, and so it is light on the butters and added fats. So in comparison to something like a soap that includes bison tallow or buffalo or any kind of tallow or donkey milk and a whole series of fats, this is going to feel lighter on the face. But don't mistake that lightness for something like airiness or lack of slickness, because that is certainly not the case. As you can see, a nice sheen to the lather. It's going to look different a little bit than a really full fat or heavy one. I am not a big fan of these blades, I gotta say. They're effective, but I just don't find them that comfortable. Like the first shave was pretty good, but just the feel on the face, just not that great. Man, lovely slickness on this soap though. I did go back and look at some of the Monet paintings, and there's a couple that are extremely large, like room-filling murals. Very, very impressive works. It was right there, by the way, my mustache on Wednesday when I realized that other blade, the Persona blade, shot. I mean, it was removing hair, but it wasn't really cutting the hair. And then on the across and against the grain passes, pretty unpleasant, I gotta say. All right, pass number 2. That was quick and easy. Lather has held up quite well in the brush. Really nice scent. I think for some this will be a bit of a perfumey style scent. And if you're not really interested in kind of a more on the floral side, well, this might not be the scent for you. Now, what's going to be interesting is to see, that looks pretty good, to see what happens with the other soaps in the lineup with this soap base and the addition of the other items. So you think about something like the Bay Laurel oils added to the Laureato. Interesting to see just how well that turns out. I think that's going to turn out great. Yeah, so the entire line of soaps from Abbate Y La Mantia, the full lineup is going to be converted over to this base over time. All right, this is the across the grain. Yeah, very nice slickness. As for the head, the Maggard head, I mean, this is not, of course, not the exact same head as the D89. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be close. Not as perfectly balanced. Like, I find this a little more efficient and comfortable. But still, very, very nice razor. Easy to use. Great value as part of that starter kit too. All right, almost done. Those strokes on Thursday, not good. Started to get that kind of hesitation when the blade was moving. They just thought it's gonna skip. And then the next thing it does after it skips is whack, right into your skin. So not willing to put up with that. All right, last pass. I'm going to just lather a little bit more out of the bowl. Loading bowl, not lathering bowl. There we go. Drip a bit of water on that. Just a touch. I would say for this soap, add water sort of carefully and pay attention, because I think if you overdo it too quickly, you're going to get too loose of a lather. I've started with a slightly wet brush and just drip water into the loading bowl as I went. There we go. Let's just pull out the lather. You can see how much this brush holds. It's quite a bit. I'm not going to let that go to waste. But I think that looks pretty good. There we go. Beautiful. All right, this is the... Try not to get it in your nose or your mouth. All right, this is the against the grain pass. Yeah, great feel to the soap. You know, this is true for most artisans that are involved in this evolution of their products. It's amazing how much effort and time people put into improving what was already very good. Sometimes those differences might be just minor and incremental, but sometimes they represent a real change. And it's always nice to see somebody being willing to take a bit of a risk, try something different. You know, really own the quality of their brand.
Wow, that was a really, really good shave. As always, just over 2 days worth of growth.
So what I've taken to doing now, and I think I'll continue this because I think it works out pretty well as an experiment, is that the first day or two that I use a soap, I will avoid using any post-shave products. Just use the soap and just let it go. Now, unless after the first 15 or 20 minutes my skin is so dry and it's unpleasant that I would have to use an aftershave product, particularly a balm, to try to keep up with the dryness of my skin. Otherwise, just let it go and just see what happens. And I really didn't know what to expect in terms of dryness for post-shave, but just not there. This is surprisingly, drying is minimal. Very nice, just straight up post-shave feel. No real tightness to the skin, and that persisted, that lasted for a while. Now, am I going to use a post-shave product? Yeah, of course. I love using a post-shave product, but in terms of just the actual after effect, overall post-shave feel, very, very good. All right, now let's get on to the next part of the shave, which is the other product that's been newly released by Abbate Y La Mantia. This is the aftershave. Now, the difference between this aftershave and the previous ones is primarily the change in the alcohol. So the previous aftershaves from Abbate Y La Mantia are a big alcohol hit, like a really strong traditional aftershave, and some of them with a relatively strong touch of menthol. By touch, I mean a lot of menthol. This is quite different. The alcohol included in here is not an ethyl alcohol, I believe. It is an alcohol that is derived from the fermentation of barley. So it is a different style alcohol. And I have to say, this is kind of one of the biggest surprises when it just agitated very gently. Same lovely scent, stronger in the aftershave than on the soap. But the big surprise here is that there is basically zero burn from the alcohol. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny touch, but you do not get that kind of big in-your-face alcohol hit at all. But it still has the same kind of dry down. So if you're looking for like a moisturizing aftershave, that's not what the aftershave splash is for. This is meant as a traditional aftershave. Oh, the scent also starts to build and really sort of opens up and blossoms. See what I did there? Once you have it on for a few minutes. So it starts off a little bit light and then continues to build, and you can smell this for quite a while after you've shaved. Oh yeah, sort of the aftershave to me smells sweeter than the soap a little bit, but that may just be just the way that it opens up based on the sort of the drying off, the cooling off, the evaporation, the dissemination. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Whew, wow, that was really good. All right, let's do a lightning fast recap from our dear friends at Abbate Y La Mantia. I have tried all their soaps, and so far I have enjoyed all of them. There's been a few scents I have not enjoyed as much, but in terms of the base, really enjoyed all these soaps, and this is absolutely no exception. This is their first soap that they're manufacturing themselves. The Monet, scented with water lily, and includes extract of rosehip and saffron with only a few simple vegan ingredients. Very, very nice soap, easy to use, great lather, love the scent. If you're looking for a light floral scent, this is going to be up your alley. Aftershave, as you just saw in action, different type of alcohol being used in there with no sting or burn when applying. Lovely stuff. I should probably turn this around so you can see the front. Ta-da! Very, very nice stuff. And the touch of glycerin, so there is a little bit of slickness to your skin, but again, not meant as a moisturizer, a traditional aftershave splash. Our dear friends at DS Cosmetics, I think I have some more brushes coming from them, by the way, which I'm quite looking forward to. Some different synthetic knots and some badger style knots as well. That's going to be really quite good to take a look at. And let's not forget our dear friend, the V3 head from Maggard on the iKon handle. And let's just bid one last farewell, shall we? To our friend, rest in peace, Persona 74 blade with only 53 shaves. You gave up the ghost, but you died valiantly. And you know what? Power to you, my brother. See you later. All right, I think that's really it, my friends. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you're taking to watch these videos. Of course, as always, please feel free to leave questions or comments against this video or any previous video. Thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.